Some of the things you're most proud of, your independence, your calmness, your ability to take care of everyone, might not just be personality traits. They might be survival skills you built as a child. And that's what makes it complicated. There may not have been a big, obvious trauma. No clear moment you can point to. Just a quiet childhood where, slowly, you learned to need less. These patterns often don't come from bad intentions. Many parents were simply overwhelmed or emotionally unavailable. But a child doesn't need harsh treatment to feel unseen. They just need their emotional world to go unrecognized. So they adapt. And these habits are often the result of that adaptation. The first habit is apologizing for everything. You say sorry constantly, before anyone is even upset. You apologize for texting twice, for expressing emotions, for taking up space. Even when someone tells you to stop apologizing, you apologize again. Underneath that is a learned belief. Your feelings or presence might be too much, so you shrink yourself preemptively. It becomes a form of protection. If you apologize first, maybe no one will blame you. It looks like politeness, but it's really a defense mechanism built from not feeling fully accepted. The second habit is being everyone's emotional support. You're the one people rely on when things fall apart. You listen, you fix, you hold things together. But when it comes to your own struggles, you stay silent. You don't ask for help. Somewhere along the way, you learned that your value comes from being useful. Maybe you were the peacekeeper, or the one who handled emotions that weren't yours. Being needed started to feel like the closest thing to being loved. So you kept giving, without believing you're allowed to receive. The third habit is not being able to accept a compliment. When someone praises you, you immediately deflect it. You downplay it, dismiss it, or redirect attention. It's not humility, it's disbelief. If your worth was never reflected back to you growing up, you didn't internalize it. So now when someone says something positive, it doesn't align with the story you've built about yourself. Kindness feels unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, because it contradicts what you've come to expect. The fourth habit is over-explaining everything. You justify your choices, your preferences, even the smallest decisions, often when no one has asked you to. This comes from a place where your wants didn't feel valid on their own. Maybe you felt like you needed permission, or that your choices had to be proven reasonable to be accepted. So now, you explain everything as if you're still being evaluated. But the truth is, you're allowed to want things without needing to defend them. The fifth habit is not knowing how you feel. When someone asks how you're doing, you say fine, not to hide anything. But because you genuinely don't know, this can be linked to something called alexithymia, where identifying emotions becomes difficult. If no one helped you label or understand your feelings as a child, you didn't learn that skill. Emotions were ignored, dismissed, or left unexplained. So now, you might feel something internally, but struggle to name it, leaving you disconnected from your own emotional experience. The sixth habit is avoiding conflict at all costs. You don't just dislike conflict, you feel it physically. It makes you anxious, tense, and uncomfortable. So you stay quiet, agree with others, and let things go even when they matter. People may see you as easygoing, but in reality, you've been trained to avoid tension. If you grew up in an environment where conflict felt unpredictable or unsafe, your brain learned to associate it with danger. Even now, in safe situations, your body reacts the same way. The seventh habit is changing depending on who you're with. You adapt quickly to different people and environments. On the surface, it looks like social intelligence, but it often comes from constantly reading the room to stay safe. When you grow up like that, you don't get the chance to develop a stable sense of self. Instead of being who you are, you become who is needed in the moment. Over time, that can make it hard to answer a simple question. Who are you when you're alone? The eighth habit is constantly second-guessing yourself. Every decision, every interaction, every word gets analyzed. You question if you said too much, did something wrong, or if people actually like you. This comes from not having your reality validated in the past. If your feelings or perceptions were dismissed, you learned not to trust yourself. So now, even when you're right, doubt creeps in. It's not a lack of intelligence or confidence. It's a learned response from being made to question your own experience. If these patterns feel familiar, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. These habits were ways your mind protected you. They helped you navigate an environment where your needs weren't fully met. But what once kept you safe might now be holding you back. Healing doesn't happen all at once. It's in small, repeated shifts. Pausing before apologizing, accepting a compliment, even briefly, letting yourself want something without explaining it. These habits were your armor, but you don't have to wear it all the time anymore. You're allowed to be supported, understood, and valued without having to earn it.